1970, we sure we did before fruit. Knowledge for selfish, for sure we did do the work. Auditorium to basement of all faculty of law. We did represent, stand tall anywhere we go. Work hard and we shine, commitment, dedication. Neurosurgery, comedy, music, Nollywood. SOTK, Dr. Call, MC Casino. We did represent, stand tall anywhere we go. Great Uniben, great Uniben, great Uniben, great Uniben. Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of the Uniben Alumni Series. As you know, every Wednesday we'll bring you new episodes. The series where we discuss with distinguished alumni and great men and women of Uniben'S actions that are doing great in their different fields. And on today's episode, I have an academic with us today. She's also a pastor. She's Reverend Professor MARGARET ABIKWI. She's a professor of guidance and counseling at the Benson Idahosa University. Thank you very much, Ma, for joining us today. Professor Abikwi, she holds a Bachelor of Education in Adult Education from our Faculty of Education. That was in 1994. She has a Master's in Education as well from our university in 1998, then a PhD, same from the University of Benin in 2008. Ma'am, I would like to commence this section with to start from your inaugural lecture, the 24th inaugural lecture of Benson Idahosa University. You came up with the topic, the theme, Unlock, Unleash, Strive, the journey of empowerment through counseling. I know you are a professor of counseling, guidance and counseling, but how did you come up with that theme? I've attended several inaugural lectures, especially at the University of Benin, and there is always a backstory when it comes to picking the theme for inaugural lecture. There's always this inspiration from somewhere, from something that that helps you academic to pick your topic. For you, what was it?
Okay, the theme of my inaugural lecture, there are some reasons behind the choice of that theme. But the most striking one was what I experienced as a child that have lingered in my mind all through. I was born in Zaria, and during the war, my father brought us to the village in Edo State. And when the war subsided, he went to Benin and got a job. So he thought he could relocate his family back to Benin City then. So when he came, we had packed our things, but I noticed that there was like, a disagreement between him and his family. They will move our things inside. Some other person will go bring them out, talk here, talk there. So I started wondering as a young child, what was going on? And we were told that they didn't want my father to take us to Benin. I and my elder sister, that we were already growing. I was just about 9 years, that we would soon be ripe for marriage. Because in my community then, early marriage was, like a norm.
Yeah.
So my father said no. My father had worked in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He had been exposed to, students, young girls, young boys going to school. So in his own mind is that if my children are willing, I will train them. Anyone that is willing, he will go to school. So this fight continued, but by God's grace, my father won that battle because he was able to bring us to Benin.
Benin.
And looking at it carefully, I found out that the issue was this male-female syndrome, that girls should not be educated. Their life is in the kitchen with their husbands, that once they get to school, they will get pregnant, and that will be the end, the loss of family name, and all those myths that they believed.
Yeah.
And my father insisted that whether you're a girl or you're a boy, anyone that comes to us is a gift from God. Whoever is ready will be educated. So with that, as a young girl, I said, if that is the case, why won't I struggle to be educated? So I felt my father, there was something in him that he was unlocking. He sent us to school immediately we got to Benin. And since then, anyone that wants to make progress from my secondary school to NCE to the university, it might interest you to know that even while I got admission for my PhD, he was still alive then. I went to him, and Daddy went inside and gave me notebooks and two Bibles. As a student. So that showed his commitment to girl-child education.
Yeah.
That has never left my mind. At that time, my father had 5 children, 1 or 2 girls, a boy, and another 2 girls. That boy eventually died while we were still in secondary school. That did not discourage my father. He said, wherever you want to get to, I am ready to take you there. So that singular act of this man against community, showing them that girls can be educated, I made up my mind that I would thrive. I would thrive no matter the environment I have found myself. It has not been easy, but thank God here we are today. So that is one major reason that connected me to that team, and I took it with passion. Thank you.
Thank you. That's quite revealing. Okay. Still on your inaugural lecture, ma'am, you made emphasis on counseling as a tool for self-discovery. And let's look at the Nigeria educational system, Nigeria educational context. Why is self-discovery often neglected? Because it's not something that is in the front burner when it comes to our educational system. And how can you, as a professor, how do you think institutions, the educational institutions, can integrate this into students about self-discovery and trying to do things that is innate to bring out what they know and to promote what they are good at?
Well, I would say that that starts from the home. The home, where children are being nurtured right from beginning. Parents should take time to know who their children, who their children really are. And also, they take time to build up these children's self-esteem. Their self-esteem. Begin to build it up for self-identification, for self-discovery. Don't shut your children down when they are saying something. Let them explore and, guide them. Parents must have time for this upbringing. If parents fail their role, it might be difficult. It might be difficult because these days you see people shifting blames to the teacher. The children spend more time at home than in the school. So parents must take time, find that time, if it is 1 hour in a day, just to, look at your child, focus on the child, study the child, and know what the child is about to do. Then for the school should continue from where parents start from. No one should close his or her eyes to the attitude, to the behavior of a child. As the child is growing, begin to correct that child. we find out that this self-discovery was even more in, in the past, where they had communal help. Because every child was a community child.
Yeah.
But now everybody is, taking his own. That this is, don't touch my child. Do you know how how I suffer to get this child? That is what is there. That even the child in secondary school, in the university, the child cannot even tell you what he or she wants to become. When there is a problem, he thinks that is the end of it. Children are not being able to, unlock themselves. They are guided with what they have known in the home, what they have been told, that you are not good, you are lazy, you are bad, you are this, you are that. Self-discovery is key. Once an individual discovers himself, know who you are by yourself, you find out that you will do more than somebody else telling you that. So this is where counseling comes in. And I have a lot of, testimonies to give where individuals, both young and adult, have been able to discover themselves.
Okay, Prof. Today you are an educationist, you are a teacher. Is this something you have always wanted to, especially before you went to obtain an NC certificate? Have you wanted to become a teacher?
Good, thank you for this question. Look at me very well. I am proud to be a teacher. I'm a teacher. I didn't, I was not confused when I got into teaching field. In my primary school, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
When I was told, the things lawyers do and how they can save somebody, and I started asking questions. If the person is wrong, how will you not save the person? They now say you will have to find a way to do that. Before I left primary school, I started thinking that, which other profession will I be? I didn't take a decision. Then I went through secondary school. Immediately I left secondary school, I got a job with Ministry of Education. And then I was posted to, the section they call UPE, Universal Primary Education account. Immediately I spent just 1 year there. I said, no. I need to go to school. Which school will I go to? I said, I want to be a teacher. I had my school set. I had to go to Magoro College for 1 year for pivotal course. And I got my TC2 certificate as a teacher. So I was trained as a teacher right from the beginning.
Right from the very beginning.
From there, I went to National Technical Teachers College, Gombe. Got my NCE Technical.
Why did you go that far? Is it because of your affiliation to the North, because you were born there? Or you just...
Yeah, that made it easier. That made it easier for me. It made it easier, sincerely. But I had, a college mother who was already there, who wanted me to come. So my parents didn't have any option because I already, I was born in the North.
Yeah.
Then after my youth service, I came to Benin. Then I had to do my B.Ed, my M.Ed, and my PhD, all in the teaching field.
Yeah.
So teaching is my passion.
Yeah.
So I went to teaching, knowing that this is what I want to do.
Okay. You just highlighted your certification you got from Uniben, your Bachelor of Education, your Master's in Education, and your PhD. These are hat tricks of certificates you got from our university, the University of Benin. Why Uniben for all these? What was so special about Uniben? There are some other academics that would like to explore. Maybe they have a first degree from somewhere and they try another institution for postgraduate degrees. But you got your all three certification from Uniben, from the Faculty of Education. Why was Uniben that special for you?
Yes, initially, because we lived in Benin, and by the time I was after my NC, I worked and I had to go back to school. I just decided to stay in Uniben to
Hmm.
have my first degree. Maybe the second degree I would have stepped out, but already I was married
Hmm.
and my children were very young, so I could not leave them at that time. Then, from my experience in the master's degree in Uniben, I just made up my mind that this is where, because I want something thorough. You know, when we say there are degrees and there are degrees, you understand that? So at any time, anything I do it with passion, and I want to be proud of it.
Hmm.
So I'm a proud alumni of University of Benin. I can proudly show you my certificate. There are others who just, now,
Yes.
just go to where it is easy. I
Yes.
saw how tough my master program was. I remember one year, I didn't even go for shopping for my children, as young as they were, for Christmas, when I was struggling with my master's thesis. So knowing that, that strong firm, that you really get what you, so that tomorrow, wherever you are, you'll be able to stand to match your equals.
Yeah.
Then I say, no, if ever I will do PhD, I'm coming back here to do it. I won't look for an easy way out. I want to be proud of my certificate. I want to be outstanding wherever I am. I know that Uniben, there is something there. It's not just where you walk in and you walk out. At least in
Hmm.
our time it was so. Whatever certificate you have, you can defend it at all times. So that is why it now happened that my 3 degrees were all in Uniben.
Yeah. Okay. I want us to concentrate more on your bachelor's degree, because obviously you were a bit younger then, and I believe you stayed within campus, or you were involved in the day-to-day activities in school at least. How was the campus life? How was it like? This was in the early 90s. This was in the How was campus life? Those of us that are quite we are the younger generation. We do hear stories of how the hostels were in a better shape, how they were discounted items for older graduates, people that were there before us, and how the environment was cosmopolitan. That we had students from even outside Nigeria studying in Uniben as a then. How was campus life? How was it like?
Well, it happens that I won't go too deep into it because at that time, I was not in campus.
Okay.
Yes, I was off campus. But I want to tell you, it's not different from what I experienced in my NCE days. You know, campus was home away from home. Things were really, really better. And that is why when I look back today, I feel really, really sad.
Hmm.
And I look at, I say, how did we get to where we are? Then in my campus, you get toiletries pushed into your room before you come in. You have food, you have tickets. You take your ticket to go and buy, to go and get your food. The meal then was good, very good. You eat chicken, 1 to 4 people, and people were even complaining. Good chicken. Not all this one that they have now. You know, you eat and you are satisfied. You sleep. People come, they dress your bed, you have cleaners, you know what to do, you do it. I say it was home away from home. So there you make friends, good friends. All these issues of killing and the courtesan was not there. You know, people were more united.
Yes, Prof, I just want to add, do you think that is the increasing number of students we have that has made us not to experience this kind of good life, or the government has just taken a back step in pushing more funds into education or prioritizing education in Nigeria?
Well, both ways, but it's tinted towards more to the government, more to the people who are governing us, more because, you know, the level of self-centeredness which breeds corruption, it's so high. People are no longer sincere in doing what they are doing. In my early days in school, government, they were paying our transport fare. You calculate mileage. You don't need to bribe anybody. Don't need to bribe anybody. They know where you are coming from. Your particulars are there. They pay you when you are going home. When you come back, they pay. The mileage is paid. But these days, when the government brings money, even for, we don't hear about bursary anymore.
Correct.
We don't hear about bursary. Then states were giving bursary to their students.
Scholarships and all.
Because the students are many. If the students are many, then you look for the best ones. You look for those who are vulnerable, and you give them scholarship. But here it is still those who have the money that will still get these things. So it is not the government. Government is not interested in education. If they are interested in education, they will make plans out for education. How much do government budget for education? Has it improved over time? Has it improved along with their security votes? Has it improved alongside with the money that Senate is getting, House of Rep is getting? Has it improved with their sitting allowance? What this education is getting? If not for private universities, how many universities have government built in the last 10, 20 years? So it's up to the government. If population is increasing, there is also a way to deal with that population that is increasing. So it's all the governance, because it's not just one person. It includes even you that is being governed. You that is being governed. If they ask us now, write your names, you begin to look for your friends' names to put that are not even there. You go and tell them that they said, tell them that you are in this school, you are reading this, whereas it's not. So it's a big problem for us.
Yeah, I quite agree with you, Prof. I think our value system has depreciated. And as you just mentioned, both the government and we that be governed, most times we are not sincere. We're not sincere. Prof, let's talk about your ministry. You're a pastor at Church of God Mission International. Yes, you're a professor, you're a pastor. How do you balance? We all know that academic is quite rigorous. How do you balance your academic life and your calling to the ministry? How do you handle both roles?
Yeah, thank you. This is where self-discovery comes in again. When you know who you are, then you know exactly what to do. You know, your ministry is not only in the church. Your ministry start wherever you are. Is a place for you to minister. But let me get it, explained here that I'm not a full-time pastor. I don't own a church, but I worship in a church. So I engage in the activities of the church, and people invite me to their churches to give talk. I go to give a talk. So when we are able to understand that wherever we are is our ministry, it becomes easy. It does not really take us out of the fold. My life as an educationist is not different from my life in the church. My life in the church also portray, my education background. While at work, my life in the church should also marry, tally with my life, that I'm showing to my students, I'm showing to my colleagues, I'm showing to my employers, and to all those that come around me.
Okay. Prof, let's talk about Stay Alive. You lead the Stay Alive campaign as a social advocate. What prompted you to start such laudable initiative? And what impact have you seen that this campaign has had on students and young people in our dear state, Edo State?
The Stay Alive campaign was vetted after I came to Benson Idahosa University. You hear of students, persons who are committing suicide, attempted suicide, and some are able to carry it out. And, it pained me. And I just had this weakness that, but before it gets too close to me, I need to raise a voice.
Hmm.
I need to raise a voice. So I wrote to management that I want to do this campaign, and they accepted. We just put things together like it was just like a fun thing, and we carried our loudspeakers in the van, and we tore around school and within the school environment. And we had students who carried write up, say no to suicide, sniper is not an option. You can talk to a counselor is your friend. And apart from suicide, there are other things, there are other vices that children involved in. Say no to courtesan, say no to any form of drug. We carried out this campaign. And from feedback, we saw even students who were not involved, will come make reports of persons who are, that this person, the way the person is talking, is not talking normal. It's like what we were saying that time. We don't want to be, maybe the person is experiencing some form of depression. So we will go into it, and we started helping students. Then it now happened that one day a lady called me and said she wants to come to see me. And I said she's free. And she came, she said she saw our posters on Facebook and all the rest, that she has a son. She is actually from UBT. She has a son she wants me to talk to and all the rest. I said, good. And the young man came, and some other persons outside the university community, outside the church. It's just like after the inaugural now, I know how many parents had communicated with me. Even those that I felt, one just called me say, let me just tell you, this my son is giving me some concern. See his number. If there is anything you can do. So when we saw the Stay Alive campaign, was that we just say, stay alive. Tomorrow needs you. Tomorrow needs you. You must endeavor. You must discover yourself. You must unlock. You must begin to unleash. There are potentials inside of you, to take sniper or to take drug, to do something that is not right to yourself, it's not the solution. There are better solutions. There is hope for tomorrow. Today is not the end of it. So stay alive so that you can enjoy the benefit of tomorrow. I also saw these things many years ago in 2000. I met a lady who was introduced to me. She had HIV, almost at the verge of, she was really, really bad. She was down. So we directed her to Saka then, where she would take access drugs and all the rest. She kept crying that she wants to die. She had a son, a little boy then. So who would take care of your son? Because of your son, live, stay alive. There is hope. But I want to tell you that since 2000, she's still alive today. This is the 26th year that I met her. She's alive today. A woman who was, almost at the, there was no hope. So there is need to stay alive. Whether in marriage, some people think that that is the end if anything happens to them. No, think of yourself. Discover those potentials that are inside of you. Begin to unleash them. And when you learn to thrive, you will stay alive because tomorrow definitely is greater than today. So the campaign has continued, and we are in our 6th season now. In our 6th season of Stay Alive campaign, and we have different, different captions. Stay alive, reject negative influences, reject peer pressures, stay alive. Say no to examination malpractice. So we bring up all these things, to help the students and the community around to know that there are vices they must do away with and begin to live a life that is acceptable.
Thank you, ma. That's quite commendable. Thank you. God bless you for that. Lastly, Prof, let's talk about the values, things you learned from Uniben that you have brought to BIU today. What are those attributes that Uniben taught you that you bring to BIU, that you teach us, you imbibe in your students, in your colleagues? What are those attributes?
Well, first and foremost, in line with what I do, you need to rediscover yourself. In my inaugural, the topic is unlock, unleash, thrive. The journey of empowerment through counseling. Then I say rebooted. How counseling, empowers self-discovery. Self-discovery. So any person that I meet, I tend to, help that individual to place value on his or herself. I am somebody. I am somebody. I am worth it. My voice will not be silent where I'm supposed to speak out. That is one of it. Another is that in life, we cannot, do it on our own. It's God all the way. It's God all the way. I imbibe in people that they need Jesus at all times. They need God to direct them. You can't do it on your own. Then another thing is say no to failure. I win. I win. Have that in mind, that you win, that you can do all things, positive things. You can. Just attempt it. You can do, you can do, you can do. So these are many more. Then the value for other people. The value for other people. Know that somebody else is there. That is why, you should not cut corners. Because when you are cutting corners, you are preventing somebody from getting something good. So be straightforward. I can go on and on. These values, I have seen them in students. I have seen them in those that wrote their testimonies during my inaugural.
Mm.
Those persons that were able to imbibe this, and many of them came out with flying colors from the university.
Thank you so much, Prof. It has really been an impactful section with you. I've learned a lot, and I know our viewers will also learn one or two from this section. Thank you for creating time to be part of this series. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I've been speaking with Professor MARGARET ABIKWI. She's a professor of guidance and counseling at the Benson Idahosa University. She holds a Bachelor of Education, Masters, and PhD from our Faculty of Education, University of Benin. Continue to subscribe to our channel. We'll bring you more exclusive interviews of Uniben'S alumni. Bye.